Today I fucked up by naming our Wi-Fi router to mess with our neighbors. After my husband got out of the military, he decided to go back to college for a niche degree. The options for this degree left him attending a very conservative Christian college that is somewhat frequently in the news for being, well, themselves, I guess. That's the background. So we moved to this new conservative city that is basically propped up by the crazy college, and moved to an apartment somewhat nearby but far enough away that it shouldn't have been filled with students. The naivety. It was. We get internet set up, scroll past the 500 FBI surveillance fan names, and thinking we were being clever assholes, shrouded by the anonymity of an apartment building, decided on Hail Satan, and that's where we fucked up. Surprise, we moved a year or so later. We moved to a house, in the same conservative city, in a neighborhood surrounded by young families and grandparents. We moved our internet over and instantly had the oh shit moment. It's obviously us, the new neighbors, who are trying to make a good impression. Who else could it possibly be? We don't remember the password, and have been locked out from logging in, changing the name entirely. There's no way to reset the name, without contacting the router company. We are stuck with it for the time being. Sorry neighbors, I promise we're friendly. TLDR anonymously named our Wi-Fi Hail Satan to mess with the cult-like college kids we had as neighbors. We now live next to grandmas and toddlers. The Wi-Fi name is obviously us. Google factory reset, insert router make and model here. It's probably on the order of turn the power off, push and hold a recessed button with a toothpick, and power on. This will reset it to the defaults, including the default password, which you can find by Googling for it. Is anyone else super curious what kind of degree would only be available at a very conservative Christian college? I had some neighbors I failed to appreciate, and I knew they were looking for a free internet connection. I had a wireless router I wasn't using, so I named it Free Internet and sat it next to the wall closest to their house. Narrator: the router was not connected to the internet. One of our neighbors changed theirs to pick up your dog shit. Bless their hearts. My phone, which I also hotspot from semi-frequently, is dubious connection, which also airdrops random memes to people as the same name. The main IT guy, I'm kind of IT at this location, I guess, called me one afternoon and said there is a device on the network connecting as dubious connection. It appears to be an iPhone. I assume that's you. Once my stuff is connected to Wi-Fi, I'm not really looking for new connections. Chances of anyone noticing it over a couple days isn't super high. Also probably wouldn't know how long it had been there. The real noticeable thing is the strength of the signal. People have always been able to figure out who it is if they were curious. There is a factory reset switch button on 99 of Reuters. Other than that, how do you like Lynchburg? There's no way to reset the name. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true at all. College-educated people can't reset their router. Change it to Hail Santa. I have both John Wilkes Bluetooth and Vladimir Komputin as my Wi-Fi names. I have had it hurts when I pee and get off my LAN as well. It's fun. Own it. Hail Satan. I named mine Hell cause it was constantly screwing up and needing reset. This really is very easily solvable if you put all of 5 minutes effort in. Just reset it. Maybe you should spend 5 seconds Googling and you will find out that all routers come with a hard reset button on their backside. You need a pin or a needle to hold it down for like 10-15 seconds and it will reset all the settings to default. Then you can log in with the default user password and change your Wi-Fi name. My Wi-Fi name is House LAN Ista. The router probably has an indented button you can push with a paperclip and to reset it to its software defaults. Not 100, but a lot of them have it. I live in deep red Alabama, have had Trump-loving neighbors from beginning. My Wi-Fi router name is Obama's Deep State. 10 years ago when we moved into our first place, a trailer park. Decent trailer park, we were 18 and 20. Our Wi-Fi name was Yell Penis for password, so all of our drunk friends would be sitting by the fire and yell penis, and whoever knew the password would yell back tickle my nipples. Back then, to us as young dumb kids it was funny. I'm sure the neighbors thought we were on crack though. My hotspot is called Avian CIA Surveillance System. You'll never guess what the password is. I hope you husband's degree isn't in computer engineering because it's child's play to reset the router. The kind of people who are going to be bothered by this are not the kind of people you wanted to be friends with anyways. Most routers have a little tiny reset button somewhere. I don't understand how some people manage to change their Wi-Fi name but don't know something as basic as the reset button. I'm sorry you live in Lynchburg. Someone in my neighborhood named theirs Dick Sandwich. I remember a couple of years ago my dad considered changing our Wi-Fi password to stop watching that all police surveillance as an April Fool's joke for our neighbors. But I don't think he ended up going through with it. Prettyfly 4A Wi-Fi is my signature go-to if I have to provision someone's modem while I am at work. Our last two networks have been Wi-Fi for fun, and that's meshed up. A sticker on the router often has the password. Every router on the planet has a factory reset option available if you have physical access to it. And how often do you think that people are viewing Wi-Fi network names? Almost every router has a reset button. Typically, you just straighten out a paperclip and use it to hold down the reset button for 5-15 seconds typically. The LEDs will possibly go off, then come back on in some kind of pattern one after the other, blinking simultaneously, etc. You'll know. Just release the clip and log in with the default credentials. Google your router model and default password. Girls Gone Wireless. Usually there's a tiny hole you just push with a TAC PR paperclip for 10 seconds or so. To reset back to factory settings. Usually if you go to 10.0.0.1 on your browser, the username is admin and the password is password or something like that. You can Google it, that's the admin to your router. Oh yes, our dear little niece wanted to name it HAISA, not the asshole, around Christmas, but she messed that one up. We left it because we thought it was funny. Winking face. There is no way to reset the name without contacting the router company. We are stuck with it for the time being. I empathize. I too find it really hard to make 10-minute phone calls. Good call spending 10 minutes making a Reddit post instead. I'm sorry, but finding any famous religious college the only option for a particular degree is very suspect. That makes zero sense, unless I suppose the goal is some sort of stupid religious degree. Secondly, if either of you had an ounce of competence at all, you'd have found out in less than a minute that you can factory reset your router. Change it to keep my Wi-Fi's name out, yo fucking MOUF. My Wi-Fi has been called your mom for at least 15 years. It'll take weeks or more before anyone in the neighborhood notices your wife name. Just buy a new one and sell the old one on eBay or something. Edit Wi-Fi name, damn autocorrect, but I'll leave it alone for the lols. We currently have found the FBI surveillance van in our list of available networks. Google the router make and name on side, should have a walkthrough for factory reset. Usually just power down hold pin in a small hole for 30s or so. Then go to default IP and setup. I've never heard of a router that didn't have a reset button. What kind of router is it? You do realize that there's a button on the router that resets it to factory defaults, right? Easy to regain access. Should just change it, when you can, to Hail Satin. Then that way you can just claim offended parties just misread it. How is this a